Hello and welcome to Arn. You know what time it is. This is Paul Bromwell, and today on the Four Horsemen Network and on One True Sport, I'm joined by the Hall of Famer, the founder of the Four Horsemen, my tag team buster, my tag team partner, the founder of the Spine Buster. Arn, I'm already losing it. I'm having so much fun. Man, how are you and how was your birthday?
I make people nervous. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
You have for a long time. Just keep the Glock away, okay?
I'm doing good. We did a good thing this past Sunday down in Lawrenceville, Georgia. We had, for the troops and fundraiser, and it was a great event. Want to thank everybody that put that together and had us come down. Brock and I really were honored to be a part of that, and seemed to go real well. So
I saw some pictures online. AJ Styles, right? He kind of put that thing together, and DDP was there, and you and I saw Brock in the background of one of DDP's pictures, and it just looked like Camille was there, Camille Brickhouse. So there was a lot of folks down there.
Met her for the first time. Nice conversation. So yeah. If it had just been a little bit cooler, damn, it was 90 degrees, man.
Oh, get out of here.
I got down in that dugout, got stirring around, and realized, man, you about 30 years too old for this shit. So I had to get back up in the shade.
It's funny that you mentioned how warm it is. I'm going to pause right here and talk about, because it's starting to cool off in the Northeast. It's in the 50s and 60s today. And of course, I had to do my due diligence and break out my latest piece of Four Horsemen merchandise. I'm rocking the new crew neck sweatshirt, the Horseman brand. I got the One True Sport embroidered, the 1TS logo right here on the sleeve. But Arn, I was just telling you before we went on air, you want to talk about a nice piece of merchandise with the logo dead center. Beautiful. And you're rocking a new t-shirt too.
Usually I've gave my boys, t-shirts here. Y'all want to wear this over the years. Brock gave me this one.
Nice.
First time I've had somebody give me one. It's got the Anderson boots, Brock, CW, and of course at the top of the totem pole would be yours truly. I was thrilled to get this, so very nice.
I love it. It looks sharp, and you can see we updated our skin here with our that we're doing on YouTube. You can see the Horseman merch, 1tsport.com. Check us out, or onetruesport.com spelled out. I just had somebody, we added quarter zips. Those quarter zips that come down, and Horseman, they ordered the black, and then it got delivered, and they must have really liked it, because then he ordered a white one too. So I'm really excited. I just talked to my guy, Jeremy. Jackets are going on the site later this week. Those classic Horseman jackets are going back up. So yes, we're doing a little bit of shilling, but I'm telling you, we are really invested in premium merchandise. We don't take this Four Horsemen logo, Arn, you know this, lightly. We want to do right by it. And I was just showing you, and I'll show our audience, a picture of you and Tully, and it's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to kind of zoom in on me here, which let's see here, solo layout, hopefully you can see. But this is Arn and Tully and Bob Cottle back in the day. Arn, you're rocking that Carolina blue jacket, but Tully is rocking the black crew neck sweatshirt. Has it kind of pulled up on the arms, but very similar to what I'm wearing. And you said to me, hey, we got those from Crockett, didn't you? He made those, had those made for you?
He did, and that was a gift. We got a white jacket, a red one, a black one, and the turquoise one. He actually gave us 4.
Nice.
And he gave us a same thing, sweatshirt, same colors. So I'm sure he took it out of the check, as usual.
They weren't free then.
Yeah, it was not gifted. I'm sure
Right.
it got taken out somewhere. But hey, it was cool to have them.
Nice gifts. Yeah.
That's that thing you got on right there is warm enough for 50. And it's not so warm that you couldn't wear it 70.
That's right.
Versatile,
pair of sweats or jeans or whatever, and man, you're dead set. But it's beautiful. I didn't know what I opened it today. It was delivered today. I was like, this is perfect, right in time for the show. Didn't know what to expect. First crew neck I've ordered, but we've really tried to pick some really nice products by the description. And when it got here, the print quality beautiful, and I'm not going to continue to show hard, but really just so happy with the items that we're picking and be able to use this brand. It's not lost on me how fortunate we are to be able to represent the Four Horsemen and Arn. You started that great faction, calling it out and naming it, and it's just so cool that I think that you own the trademark and that we get to do it. So there's that. Let's also, because this is all Ask Arn Anything, so I want to give the fans their opportunity to ask. So go ahead and take advantage of the super chat. You guys know what to do. You've been so awesome. I mentioned it was just his birthday, so if you want to throw a little birthday sugar on those super chats, this will be the time. September the 20th, Arn celebrated another birthday, so congratulations to him. While they're putting their questions in and hopefully some super chats, I wanted to mention a big appearance this weekend and throw the graphic on the screen, and it's Eden, North Carolina, Arn. And there you are, hairy chest and all, and balled up fists. You're going to be there in Eden. Talk about the event with AML. I know you love AML wrestling and everything they stand for.
Well, this is a first with those guys that we've done with them. They're having 2 shows at the same arena.
Yeah.
One's at 3:00, one's at 7. The talent and the cards are completely different, the matchups. So you're talking about a full day of entertainment. I'm pretty sure I'm doing the later meet and greet, which will probably be around 5-ish. I'm not sure if Brock is on that with me or not. He will be if he can possibly work it out. So, I've always put over AML for just their treatment and what a class act they are, and everybody that works for them across the board are just real professionals. And being able to go up in the Carolinas and drive back and forth is a great experience for the Anderson family. So it'll include Smokey. Smokey gets to go.
Oh, there you go. And Aaron will be. Is she making?
Aaron's going. You bet.
That's so cool.
You bet. And it's not too far. I mean, it's a little piece, about 145 miles, I think, from Charlotte. So we're just looking forward to that. And Tracy and his whole organization are nothing but top shelf. So we're honored to be there and looking forward to it. The only difference is this may trip a couple people up. It's on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Yes, I'll put the graphic up again, and it has the date, Saturday, September 28th, the Armory. And there you see it, 615 Henry Street, Eden, North Carolina. Arn mentioned 2 shows, 3:00 and 7:00. And you can find out more, get your tickets, amlwrestling.com. I love when I see these graphics, Arn. It helps us. We can throw these up here on the screen and share it with all the fans that are watching live on YouTube or watching a little bit later. But look at some of the folks that are going to be there. Camille's going to be there, Rhett Titus and others. So make sure you check it out. Sounds like a great night of wrestling there at the Armory.
Donovan Dijak, they got him smack dab in the middle of the picture. He's frightening looking.
He's intimidating.
Hope he's in a good mood that day.
It should be a good time. And then one more appearance that I know you wanted to talk about, October 4th, and this is all about Brock, MLW, for him in St. Petersburg, Florida. Arn, how proud of you of Brock and seeing what he's doing now, this big show in St. Pete, October 4th.
Well, let me say thank you to MLW for using him in CW. Thanks to CW from kind of monitoring Brock. I'm not there. Brock is, learning and picking it up, and, the backstage politics and all the things that you have to do. He had a long trip, drove from Charlotte to Atlanta, did the TV and drove all the way back. That may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but that's $500 drive, 500-mile driving day, and a lot of TV in the middle of it. So he got a taste of what it used to be like in the old days. And, that's part of paying your dues and pounding those roads.
There you go. And he's doing it, making it happen. And I just saw a graphic. They're even have like it's a Rogue Horseman style shirt on the MLW shop with Brock. So It's pretty cool to see some merch already too.
Yeah, I mean, whoever did the artwork on it's updated and it's cool. It's totally separate, obviously, from the Four Horsemen, but it's a good looking artwork. Whoever did that did a good job, I thought.
Yeah, I love that they're already getting some merch together and doing that for him and the faction. So a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out, October the 4th. Now, before we move on, Arn, I know you dabble from time to time on social media. There is a meme that has gone around. And so I thought that we would have a little bit of fun here, and we're going to call this confirm or deny with Arn Anderson with double A. So I'm going to flash up a meme or a graphic on the screen, and I need you to either confirm, is this accurate, or deny, this is not true whatsoever. Arn, you ready to play along with me?
We'll see. I'm not
He's
sure.
like, what
I'm
is
not
he
sure.
about to do to me?
I don't really trust you all that much. To be honest with you.
Oh, you know that it'll be good fun.
So we'll see. What
All
you
right.
think is fun is not necessarily fun to me. We've established that.
Oh boy. Well, here we go. We need you to confirm or deny. And here's the graphic. 14-year-old Arn Anderson about to have a cold beer after his team won the Little League World Series. And so they're saying this is a picture of you as a 14-year-old about to have a cold beer after you won the Little League World Series. Arn, can you confirm or deny that this picture was taken as a 14-year-old after you won the Little League World Series?
I can deny this, and I'll tell you why. Because those are Carreras. They are not knockoffs. Those are Porsche Carreras, and I had to be making some change to afford those. 14 years old, I had not quite started working. At 15, I was loading trucks at an ice cream place. So that was 15. 14, I wouldn't have been able to afford that. Now, do I look similar? Yes, but the glasses are a dead giveaway.
Okay, so there we go. A little confirm or deny. Guys, if you enjoyed that, please send along all the Arn Anderson memes, and we will make sure that we continue to do this. What do you think, Arn?
Oh, just pile on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just pile on.
Pile on. You can't
Yep.
hurt my feelings.
And we'll have a good time. I love it when you're like, oh God, where's Paul going with this? That wasn't painful.
That wasn't bad.
No. All right, here we go. And it is time to have some fun with the fans because that's what we're here for. And this is the virtual living room, as I call it, sitting around enjoying our time for the next 45 minutes with Double A. And our first super chat, I'm going to throw it on the screen, comes to us from Albert. And he says, hey, Paul, did you show Arn the footage of the Green Goblin giving Spider-Man the spine buster? I DM'd you, Albert. I sure did. I texted it to Arn, and he got to see that spine buster on as it went through the building. But Arn, it really happened. He did a spine buster to Spider-Man. It was quick, but it happened. So there you go, Albert. Arn got to check that out through. I sent it to him through text message.
It was quick. It was a little bit hard to make out, but when I knew what I was looking for,
yeah,
it made it a lot easier. So yes, I did see it. Everybody's stealing my spine buster. I don't know what to tell you, Albert. It's just grand theft. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, you know what? And you don't have to correct your grammar. He said that should have been giving, not give. Sorry, I'm smarter than that. Honest. All good, man. Don't even worry about it. We know what you meant. But no, he got to check it out for sure. And I thank you for sending that to me. And we got to see a little Arn Anderson action. Next up is Darren Staley, our buddy Darren. Oh, he's a troublemaker, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for us tonight. He says, I have no question. This is just me saying happy birthday to my all-time favorite wrestler. Happy birthday, Double A.
Now, see, that is nothing but all positive. Pleasant. That's a nice comment. Thank you very much, Darren Staley. You're a good man.
Now, Darren, now that you were so nice and sweet and cupcake like, we need you to turn it up a notch, okay? Because we need this to be entertaining. You have any memes you want to share? Anything? Just let's let it rip.
I'm a punching bag. Go ahead, have at it.
No. Mike Parker, our buddy. Mike, how you doing, man? He said, I was watching. Thank you so much, by the way. $20 gift here.
Jeez, Mike.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Thank you.
Yes, very much appreciated. He said, I was watching Uncensored 1999. Arn comes to help Ric Flair, fending off David Flair and Torrie Wilson. Oh, that sounds like just a miserable time. Torrie jumps on Arn's back. Was this on the fly, or did Arn approve it? It seemed like a big risk due to Arn's neck. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Mike.
I think it just happened.
Okay. She just jumped on the back and just to add that to the whole scene there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was all just an ad lib, wild thing. You know, my neck is not got the protection that I could get clotheslined on the neck or something,
Sure.
or DDT'd on my head. But I'm not paper mache. I won't break.
Meaning if Tori Wilson wants to jump on the back and hold, you're not going to fall apart.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
But
right.
I appreciate the concern because, it wouldn't take much more, a drop kick in the back of the head or something that by the time I figured out I went too far, I would have went too far. Does
Well,
that make
that's like,
sense?
it does, but that's like when you go back and watch even the spot you did with Undertaker in the Undertaker Ric Flair match. That wasn't, I mean, you fell down on that ring. Yeah, I mean, then he threw you out of the ring. None of that worried you that you might, what if I land wrong or what if something goes awry here?
No, because I was in there with a pro.
My goodness. Well, but to your point, anything could happen at any time, just like it was you reaching down, what was it, for a weight when it first happened, or grabbing that weight in the weight room.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up two 20-pound dumbbells, which all I was going to do was do some lateral raises to loosen my shoulders up. I was probably going to be training shoulders that day. No big deal. And that would have been 20 pounds that's a warm up weight. And when I went to pick them up and started up on that left side, it just rolled out of my hand. And it's one of those things that you go, all right, wait a minute, wake up. You're at the gym. Wake up.
Right.
Reached over and went to pick it up, and it just rolled out of my hand again. And it's one of those things. It wasn't pain involved. There wasn't anything like that. It was just all of a sudden, I can't make a fist.
Mm.
I mean, literally 2 minutes before that, I was fine. And it just, something happened between me locking that car door manually. I didn't have automatic locks. Something happened. I turned the key. There was no issue. And when I went back out 5 minutes later to unlock it, I couldn't do it. I didn't have the strength to unlock it. Had to switch to my right hand. That's scary, buddy.
There's no doubt about it. And every time you tell that story, it just goes to show all the bumps and everything that you've taken in the ring, something like that is what forces you to hang it up for the rest of your career. It blows my mind.
Well, between my doctor, the physician that did the surgery, and my chiropractor who took some photos when I got back home, they looked at it and they said, okay, you see that little dark piece right there? That's a bone chip that moved and shut that hand down. Mm. That's all it was walking across that parking lot, signing in somewhere. That bone chip was floating around and it blocked the nerve canal. That there was it wasn't that I tripped and fell or anything like that. It just moved and it blocked off whatever nerve canal I needed, and that was the end of it. Wasn't painful, wasn't anything. It was like a dream. I couldn't get back to the room. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't do anything.
My goodness.
Nightmare.
It is total nightmare. By the way, Miss Amy is here, and she got to see you in Indianapolis, did she not? When you were at the what was the name of the con that you were at out there a couple weeks ago? It's just RaptorCon.
RaptorCon. I want you to know this young lady drove 2 hours from her house to come down and say hello and support us, and I was so honored that she would do that. Of course, she did let the cat out of the bag as she was getting ready to leave. I was worried about, well, God Almighty, I feel like I should do something for her, at least spend some time with her and all that. She was going to Target. And so she went to Target because she didn't have one where she lives, which I guess must be out of the way somewhere. And she just stopped by to see me on the way, so I didn't feel too bad about it.
So her goal was to just go to a Target, and then she was like, "Oh, I guess I'll go over and say hi to Arn while I'm here."
She won't admit that probably, but it's
Oh,
okay. But I felt, you know, good about it anyway, because at that point when she got there, it was a little slow, so I did have some time to spend
good.
conversing with her. So, what a great family she has, and wonderful person she
She
is.
is.
For
She's awesome, and she wanted to make
she's
sure that I
special.
passed along birthday wishes to you, as does CG. By the way, CG Artis, Paul and Arn, great to be with all of you this Tuesday evening. Arn, happy belated birthday, sir, in honor of your birthday and mine this past Sunday. Another September birthday. I had 2 big Hershey bars with almonds.
Attaboy.
So
And
I
he's
love that.
probably one of these guys with a great metabolism that he didn't gain 1 ounce.
Ugh, I wish I had been be blessed with that as well, man.
How was your birthday?
It was good. It was interesting because last week I was out of pocket. I was in DC. I called you actually from down there for we had a leadership meeting, and it was a lot of fun. We were at the National Harbor, and for anybody who has not been to the National Harbor in Washington DC, I would say check it out. A lot of restaurants and bars, and it's right on the Potomac River, the Capitol Wheel, and so had a real nice dinner out, and then we went to a piano bar afterwards and had a really good time. So my birthday was good, Arn. Can't complain.
Good. Did you play the piano?
No, no. I did have a song or two dedicated my way, but yeah, little they performed "Don't Stop Believing" from Journey, so I'm not
Good
gonna.
choice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna keep pressing on. I'm gonna try to continue on in life. So it was a fun time, and and people think, work friends. I do work with a good group of people, fun people that know how to have a good time. So good time.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good time was had by all. Speaking of a good time, it's a good time now because we're going to hear from my buddy, Instagram, a wrestling historian, with a super chat. He says, Bill Watts. Wow. Talk about maybe someone who, not a good time. He's another polarizing figure in the business. What are some good things that you can say about Cowboy? And congrats on the 5th anniversary of the Arm podcast. Man, he is a wrestling historian.
He
5 years with the podcast.
Yes, absolutely. I can't believe that it's been 5 years.
My goodness. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
There you go. I like it.
The one thing I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, when I wrestled for Bill Watts in Mid South, which was my first territory, so I was, just a baby. Everything was new to me, and the rules of his company was, I was a rookie, and you had first match was the rookies, no punching, no kicking, no fighting on the floor. You had to wrestle. And it was usually somewhere in that 10 to 15-minute range, which means you had to keep the audience interested. You had to wrestle, work some holds, body parts, and that groundwork that I learned from working for Bill Watts just paid dividends for the rest of my career, because I could always pull something out, pull a hold out of nowhere, whether it be an arm or a leg or a neck or whatever the deal was. And other than just running a bunch of high spots, I could tell a story, and either he was hurting me or I was hurting him, and you stayed with that body part. And that's an education that Bill Watts really pushed. And I was grateful to have had that knowledge when I left there.
There you go. So something good about Bill Watts. And now thank you for sharing that. We're going to keep moving on because we got a lot of questions. And Albert is back, Arn. And his first comment, Tori jumped on Arn because chicks dig a horseman and she just couldn't help herself. All right, there you go, Albert. I'll drink to that, my friend. I got to meet Tori Arn, and it was Ric Flair's last match weekend, and she was so kind and such a sweetheart.
Yeah, and that,
Big time impression made on me.
As pretty as Tori is and classy and all those things, inwardly, she's a nice person as well. And it just makes everything
Yeah.
else, you know.
When you meet something and you realize they're a first class human being, whether wrestler, sports, hero, it doesn't matter. And I'll say this about you too, and your family, the whole 9 yards. When you meet someone like that, because listen, there are a lot of people in this world, all of us that are here watching live, watching this and recording, we've all probably met someone in life that you kind of really looked up to or thought highly of, and then we're like, mm, that they didn't leave the greatest impression on me. But man, when you meet people like that, like you, Arn, yes, I'm going to say it, and I would say it behind your back, or a Tory or someone like that, and they just make that impression on you, just you never forget it. It means the world to you, and you become just your fandom for them becomes a different level because of it.
Yeah, because so many people who are gifted with natural beauty don't follow it up with inward beauty.
Yeah. Oh, well said.
And when that happens, it's worse than just a normal looking person who's a dick. You know,
Right.
you know,
Or a guy that maybe, or a gal that you thought was the best wrestler or this or that your whole life, and then as you learn more and grow up, I'm just talking for me, so when you meet the class people, that's where your fandom just goes a completely different level. So she's one of those people, is what I'm trying to say. So if you guys
she
get a chance to meet Tori, take full advantage of it.
she can jump on my back anytime she wants.
I love it. Love it. But that's the way we'll end that one. Albert is back again. He says, Arn CB in the chat says it's his birthday too. We saw that, and he celebrated with 2 Hershey's with almonds. CB's opening up Albert's opened up the checkbook this week. So Albert, thank you so much for all the super chats, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
All right, let's go over here. We'll go to see. We got a few more questions. Darren, yes, you are here. Bryant Haremza, you didn't have to remind Amy that Arn went live today, so that's good. Chris Orlando says, love the show. Arn, did you know right away when Austin left WCW that he was going to be a superstar?
I knew he would make it. I don't think any of us saw Stone Cold Steve Austin emerging when he first left, because just shaving his head and having that dark goatee completely changed his look. Total, I think, and the persona followed. Uh, I knew that he was a talented performer when he was with WCW. You remind me of his era's Ivan Koloff, who is just a machine. He just kept coming and coming and coming. You couldn't blow him up. You couldn't wear him out. And that was Austin's style. And he already had a diverse repertoire of things on his tool belt. The guy worked his ass off. I knew he was going to do well. I don't think anybody saw the megastar, superstar that he had become.
That's for sure. And my goodness, one of the Mount Rushmore for so many people when you talk about all-timers. Carl wants to know, Arn, are you on a WWE Legends contract?
No, sir. I have not been on one of those probably in 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, probably about 6 years.
There you go. Shannon says, happy birthday from your Morgantown friend. And she wants to know, Arn, do you think AEW has gotten too far away from the originals? I think it was good when it was just a few WWE people to get eyes on the product. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it's, as in debt as I am to everything that AEW has accomplished. Tony has really, given the wrestling world, a second option. And I think we're all in debt to him, or should be, for that. It's a huge roster, and I don't know how many people are on it. You could probably just Google it and find out how many's on there. And it's difficult to get everybody on TV every week. And the fact that you have such a huge roster like that, if you're only on there, a few weeks, and then you have to sit out so someone else can get a few weeks in, before you know it, it's been 6 or 9 weeks, and you got to start all over again. It's a blessing that Tony's in business. Thank God for him. And but I think that there may be just a few too many folks to try to fit in there, and I think everybody suffers from that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just one thing I do know about this business. You you have to be on TV every week, and you have to build momentum, and it needs to
Yeah.
be good TV, promos, good opponents. You need to be winning, and you need to be talking about winning and where your career's heading so that people can figure out how they feel about you. I don't think that'll ever change.
Well said, Arn. We're going to move to Pez next. And he said, I used to go to the Philadelphia Civic Center back in the 80s. Oh, what a time. And always wondered what Arn thought about the Philly fans cheering for the heels back in those days.
Well, I gave up on trying to turn them. I just went with it. It's just it was a heel town, and you just went out and you had a move set, and you went out and you just did what you did and let the chips fall where they may. If they cheered for you, they did. If they booed you, they did. I know one thing: it's a violent city. They like their athletes, and they like them tough in Philadelphia. And I don't think, other than just completely changing your style, which they would have seen through that and shit all over it, you just went up there and just, hey, gave them a hell of a fight, gave them their money's worth, and that's what it was.
Albert jumps in and says, hey, as Double A used to say, remember, Bromwell, the privilege was all yours. That should be how we close the show every week. We do this.
Well, you're jumping ahead, aren't you?
No, I'm saying you should close the show from now on and always say, remember, Bromwell, as I wrap up the show, the privilege was all yours for just being able to host this with you every other week. I think that's a great tagline for you as we close these shows.
We can do that.
I think that's a good one. And Albert, thanks for bringing that to my attention. I like that. And thank you again. The checkbook continues to be open. Darren Staley, you are something else. I should not even do this without you giving more money. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to your attention. Darren Staley Arm was the guy that had the whole nipple conversation with you. The nipples, remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so that helps set the table for what I'm about to put on the screen. He's a knucklehead. He's a goofball. He likes to be funny. Okay, so here we go. Here's Darren Staley. Did Arn or other wrestlers have issues with groin chafing with the tights? Was there some lotion regimen? And did Arn ever have a ball slip? What?
I think he's meaning, did my nizuts fall out of my tizzites?
Did your nizuts?
Not,
he is.
Not to my knowledge.
There was the old Tommy Young where he had to slide Nikita's back into the sling. You remember?
Yeah. Yes, I remember that story. He had to tuck him up, didn't he?
He had to tuck him up. Oh man.
Well, Tommy's a professional. He didn't have to wait to be told.
He
in
was
those days,
hands-on back in those days.
You couldn't still be up there scuffling with all your junk hanging out.
So there you go. No lotion regimen though for the boys.
Well, God bless him, because we just lost him, but I'll go ahead and throw him out there. Kevin Sullivan's thighs were so big from powerlifting, he used to chafe all the time. Remember how big his legs were?
Oh yeah. Oh,
thick. Really big and muscular,
yeah.
And he would chafe. I would see him putting like lotion, on his legs and stuff.
What are we doing? I love this.
Well, it's just there's chafing.
There is. It happens, and it happens in wrestling, and this is a serious topic that I'm surprised hasn't come up before. So I'm glad we were able to address it, and I thank you, Darren, for bringing it up. All right, what else? Let's keep going here. Chris Bradshaw, we reels it back in. Arn, do you have any fond memories of Richmond, Virginia, and the Coliseum? It's been boarded up for years now, and sad to see such a memorable building become a shell of itself.
How could the leaders, and we did a signing there in Richmond about 6 months ago, and I was talking to some of the local people that, just like at the hotel and at the YMCA I went, and different places around town, restaurants, the weekend that we're there. And I could not for the life of me, nor could they figure out why you would take a building that nice and that atmosphere that you had in that arena and board it up with no B plan.
Yeah.
Where to replace it? I asked them, what do you replace it with? They said nothing. So can you imagine how many concerts, sporting events, and all this revenue that they lost? Who made that call on
Makes
their
no sense.
city planners or whatever they would be, city commissioners? It's
Sure.
just stupid. Now, if you're going to flatten it and put a high tech something in there, it's going to create a bunch of jobs. Great, but to just board it up and let it sit there, and
Yeah. Just
that's
sit there and rot.
criminal. It's
Yeah.
criminal.
Arn, Amy Vaughn wants to share that was our secret about the whole Target thing, and now it's public knowledge. So,
Well, I felt so guilty, Amy, because I mean, driving that way 2 hours each way, that's not just some hop, skip, and jump.
well, and now I feel bad for you wherever you live. What, Murray, Kentucky? I think that you're in that area. No Target. Like, what's going on down there? I know they have a McDonald's because I know a goofball that works there, but no Target. Wow.
I think McDonald's and Target are two different things.
They are, but I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like if they don't have a Target in that area, my goodness.
Well, every place don't have a Target.
I guess not. I'm learning that here tonight.
I mean, get with it.
I know. Whew.
And I'm sorry, I let the cat. I'm let the cat out of the bag.
You did.
I'm sorry.
But
when you left, I really did. I mean, I had several conscious thoughts. Make sure that, and I think I even told her, drive defensively, be aware of everything around you. When you get out at Target, look and see before you unlock that door and step out. Now I'm talking like I'm talking to my wife now.
Yeah.
Be aware, because these dipshits today, these criminals, they just don't care. They just don't care. It happens all the time during the middle of the day. Just, carjackings, robberies, you name it.
All right. Now that we're all scared to death, the Professor Drew Landry.
Shit, protect yourself. Piss on that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Put it.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got hot for a minute.
I did. I could see the blood pressure was starting to rise there. He was ready to. Aaron had to calm me down. Professor Drew Landry. Professor Drew Landry, where have you been? I have missed you. Drew Landry. He says, Arn, would the Horsemen have been different if Jim Cornette or Bobby Heenan managed the stable instead of J.J. Dillon? If so, how?
J.J. was perfect fit.
You didn't need Heenan because there were so many big mouths. No offense.
Yeah, we didn't need anybody to do our talking. Everybody could talk. Everybody could talk, especially in that first group. Ole didn't need anybody to talk for him. I didn't. Tully didn't. Rick didn't. We could all talk for ourselves. We didn't. JJ was the administrator, and he just was the
perfect role.
Yeah. Cherry on top of
just kind of sat back there with the glasses and kind of, holding them off into his mouth. Heenan would have been so dynamic on the mic that you get a Ric Flair and it would have felt like overkill.
Well, Heenan would just take the show over.
Yeah.
Once they started the Weasel stuff, you might as well just sit down for a minute, because they were going to rock that arena with the Weasel stuff.
CB says, Arn, it's my birthday today. CB, happy birthday, buddy.
How old?
He didn't say. It just, or he or she, I don't know. CB's the initials. It just says it's my birthday today.
Happy birthday. I hope you're having a good one.
Yeah, we do. We hope you enjoy your day. James Byers. Hi, Arn. Hi, Paul. James, hope you're doing well. He says, as far as I know, you never wrestled Kerry or Kevin Von Erich, at least on TV, but I could be wrong. Did you interact with them, and are there any memories or stories you could share?
I was only in one locker room when it was for Bill Watts, and it was like a co-op show. And Kerry and Kevin came in and wrestled somebody else on the card. And since they were in the other locker room, I didn't get to meet them. I didn't get to spend any time with them. I was just on the one card, and that was, I think, in Dallas, believe it or not.
Arn, I before I continue on with questions, I do have one more graphic that I need to show, and I don't know if anybody can throw it out there. Let me know if Yambag Jones is here. You've heard that name mentioned a few times on this show, haven't you? Yambag Jones.
Yeah, is that a real thing?
That's his gimmick name, that's for sure. But he sent me on social media and says, "Paul, you're not going to believe this. I'm a card collector, and he opens wrestling cards from time to time. And he recently opened a box of some WCW cards. And you're not going to believe the pull that he had when he opened one pack of cards. I actually have the image of the cards that he pulled, and I'd like to share them with you just so that you can see this. Arn, he pulled not
Oh,
only an Elegante, but an Arn Anderson, but then another one as well. And he just wanted me to show this with you because he said you can't make it up all in the same pack. What do you think about that?
so the two cards of Elegante, what did that do to destroy the value of that collection?
Apparently, your card was right in the middle of them. Like as you shuffle through cards, it was Elegante, Arn Anderson, and then another Elegante right behind it. You were kind of sandwiched like a ice cream sandwich. You were like the ice cream between the sandwich there. How do you feel
So,
about that?
um, you know how I feel about it. I
If
believe, I
I
believe,
mean, it wasn't just one Elegante; it was two.
I think there's some trickery going on here. I think this was not how that laid out. Y'all restructured it to fit
So
your
you
own good
think
time.
Yambag's up to some chicanery?
Yambag, you're not to be trusted. There's another example of it.
He's calling some bullshit, Yambag Jones.
Yes.
Yeah. He took a picture, sent it to me. He's like, he said, I can't even make it up, Paul. And I said, oh, come on. He's like, no, I promise. I'm telling the truth. So just wanted to share that with you.
Well, and to be stuck between two pictures of him, can you imagine how bad it gets worse? That was Terry Taylor I was covering. So,
Oh, that's true. Let me hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back because I didn't even realize that. Let's throw it up on the screen. That is Terry Taylor.
I'm sure he is not happy about being in that position.
Right.
There's
Right.
one position worse than being me and being between those two stiffs who are the same person. That's actually beating Terry, one of my only wins in history, probably.
Oh, so good. So good. Darren Staley, who has also decided to open the checkbook again. Darren, and the last question he had was around lotion and how you massage that into your thighs. His question is a little easier. He said, "Last super chat for tonight. Before I take out a second mortgage, did the wrestlers read the mags back in the day, like PWI, the Wrestler, etc.?"
You bet.
Huh. Okay.
Because there was no social media.
Yeah.
If you were going to keep up with, and they would half-ass like Pro Wrestling Illustrated when they would rate tag teams or singles or
Sure.
something. It was kind of almost accurate.
Oh yeah.
So it was, even though it's a wrestling magazine, it was, a lot of the stuff they put in there took some thought. And by the way guys were being used, if you had a territory, I think they had a section where it was each territory, and you
They did.
had
They broke it down by the different territories
the
ranking.
top 10, and it would be pretty
Yeah.
close. And it was just by how they were being used.
Well, not only that, it was they looked at records. I mean, there was thought put into it. It wasn't just
Yes.
some slap ass thing put together. And to your point, it's true because even the wrestlers nowadays take pride in seeing some of themselves ranked in these rankings. It's
You
a big
bet.
deal.
Well, and I think the promoters half-ass, would look at that and go, well, these guys must be pretty good. I hadn't heard of them. Let's maybe not be bringing them in. So the work turned into a shoot.
Oh, that's true. Hey, they're popular over here. Let's bring them into our territory.
Bingo.
Oh man, so there's truth. I didn't even think of it that way, like as a money making opportunity. So you wanted to be ranked high in these
Yeah.
magazines.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, there you go. Mike Parker, our buddy, is back again with another super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. He says, "Any memories of the Meadowlands Arena in New Jersey? I love seeing NWA WCW there from 1990 to 92, as it was exciting seeing stars I'd only seen on TV, and I preferred the product to the WWF at the time."
Well, I remember We had a show there in the Meadowlands. I think it was a co-op with the AWA.
Okay.
I
Definitely.
think.
You guys were working together.
And Lawrence Taylor invited us over, which was very close to the arena, his sports bar that he had at the time. So he invited us to come over and have some drinks, have some beers, and have, eat and stuff. And man, I was such a mark for him. You're talking about an assassin. Lawrence Taylor was the man. Make no mistake. And just, it wasn't lost on me who were sitting there drinking beers with and bullshitting, because he was just a regular guy. I mean, he was all man, buddy.
Oh, no doubt about it. A legend. And man, it's funny you brought that up, because I think that some of those cards, I don't know if they're still on YouTube or not. The old NWA AWA collaboration cards. Any memories of that besides you shared the Lawrence Taylor story? But what was that like since you went there, having some of those cards with those guys?
I don't remember if Tully and I wrestled AWA guys, to be honest with you, or our guys.
Yeah.
I want to say we probably wrestled our guys, because I don't know. It was probably 3 or 4 of the top guys from AWA, but it was like a Jim Crockett Promotions was like the lead dog, I think.
Okay. But I'm sure it was just working with the guys, again, a long time ago. Friendly atmosphere. Hey, cool.
Yeah. I mean, in those days, I mean, we were just one big family, and you got to know guys when you would be in a territory with them, because you were in the dressing room with them 7 days a week.
I got some late breaking news here, and I know this is from our buddy Dom D'Angelo, so I'm gonna throw it in here. I was just going through the notes. Dom, I should have made you super chat so that you could give us some money, but he said, let the peeps know that Arn will be back on an audio feed this week, starting with this episode, along with Straight Talk with the Boss. That's from Dom. So we are going to start putting out a not just private, but a public 4 Horsemen RSS feed. So a lot have asked, and so you ask and it shall be given. Dom's working on putting that together now. I believe it'll be called the 4 Horsemen Network. Dom, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So more to come. Stay close to our social media when the announcement comes. But for those that just can't watch YouTube or are at work, we are going to move this as well. Dom's going to take some responsibility to help us with that and get it out on a public RSS feed. So we're really excited about that.
I have no idea what you just said.
I knew you didn't. And I'm like, I'm just going to say nothing until he reacts. This is going to be great.
So you want to tell me in layman terms?
Yeah. So what it means is people can listen to the audio version too, if they want, just not watch us. Like on their phones. So like while they're running, walking, walking Smokey around the block.
Which might be preferable, considering you and I ain't much to look at.
Yeah, with these kissers.
But we're okay to hear. We're just not so much to look at.
I guess.
So that might be preferable.
Yeah. I see some people talking about, so I'm going to ask you, what did you think about the Red Rifle coming back for the Carolina Panthers and throwing 3 touchdowns and 300 yards this past weekend?
I loved it. But it was the difference in having
Man, it was like all of a sudden, because people were like, well, there's no talent around Bryce. I don't know. There was guys catching footballs all over the field last Sunday.
Yeah, and running the ball.
Yeah.
And Phelan making a big catch. And we got bad news. He got hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he's going to be out. But to be honest with you, quarterback is worth his weight in platinum in the NFL, and they are either proved to be a quality leader and makes everybody else around them better or less than. And if it all starts with the quarterback, and if he can't get the ball rolling, you're not going to have much success. And yeah, it was a classic example of leadership, I think.
Hey, listen, to bring Big Red, the Red Rifle, in, who has had a long career in the NFL, not Big Red, Andrew Hermes, but Andy Dalton, and to see another Andy and to see what he could do in that offense, it was like, holy shit. And obviously different level of competition or whatever, but still move that offense up and down the field. The pass to Thielen was one of the best throw and catch you'll see all year long. It was incredible. So really happy for you because I know it's been a while. You've been looking for a win.
The offensive linemen, if you watch them, were the best they've ever been because they're confident. They're not worried that the guy's just going to drop back, look around real quick, and then if it doesn't look favorable, just fold up. And that's what they've been having to deal with in the past. It made everybody, the running backs, you couldn't guess what the next play was, which is part of the NFL. You got to have the surprise and the surprise plays and, the misdirections and all those things that make the NFL. It's what makes them pros. You just don't hand the ball off and go off tackle every time. And here in Charlotte, I'm sure everybody that lives here is taking it with a grain of salt, but we'll also take what we can get at this point.
Yeah, there you go. Burley Sullivan says, Brainbusters, and I'm skipping around here, guys, until I see a super chat. Brainbusters are the most underrated tag team ever. So that's Burley's opinion.
Could be.
Yeah.
But they used, other than not paying us properly, they used us right. We wrestled everybody. We wrestled, the Hart Foundation, Demolition, the Rockers, the whoa, yay, sheep herders.
Oh, yeah, the
bushwhackers.
They were the bloody sheep herders, barbed wire sheep herders, and then they became the armpit licking, dancing with the kids, bushwhackers.
Yeah, Strike Force. We wrestled all the good teams, the British Bulldogs.
Oh, man.
So
Hart Foundation. Oh, yeah.
We got to go out and do our shit. It's a shame that we weren't paid properly.
Dominic D'Angelo, look at that face in the corner. My goodness, what just so many thirst traps. If you don't follow him on social media, you should. The feed for the RSS feed, Arn and Straight Talk with the Boss. Throw it in your reminders to look for it. And again, more to come. But Arn and Straight Talk with the Boss will be the feed. And we're going to get that audio feed going for everybody. Really excited about that. Thank you, Dom, for putting that out there for us, buddy. All right, so let's keep going with some other questions. Let's see here. What else?
Thanks, Dom. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. William Millar, happy birthday, Arn. What would you say was the greatest gourd buster you ever had delivered? Since most people forget you did that along the iconic spine buster. That's so true. I love the gourd buster.
I used that on TV a few times because it was different. And that was kind of something that I came up with too. That version of it. I know people would take a guy up for a vertical suplex and just kind of drop them on their belly, but he wouldn't ride them down, which was my version of it. It just, it got to be a little rough on the knees.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you. And I certainly didn't want to blow out my knee on something I could have avoided.
Was it one of those, was that the time where you kind of started transitioning to the DDT?
Yeah.
Or were you doing them both at the same time? I can't.
I was kind of rotating everything in there. Spine buster in there too. DDT was one of those things that I didn't have to pick anybody up. You could almost, it had 100% accuracy rate. You know what I mean? It was so easy. Once you just snatched the guys and kicked your feet out, wasn't too much that could go wrong.
Amy Vaughn says, Arn, I would drive 2 hours for you every week. Okay.
Very kind of you. Thank you. And I hope you found what you were looking for at Target.
She said there wouldn't even need to be a Target there either. So I think that's important. Darren Staley said Heenan had saucer size nipples, so we didn't know that. So thank you for sharing that. ATF Media, do you feel lucky to have survived a punch from the hands of stone Ron Garvin?
What makes you think I survived it?
Good point.
I'm a little punchy.
He's still got cobwebs from Ron Garvin.
I'm a little punchy, and that probably happened from things from that era.
Oh man, so good. Alan Caro, hey Arn, I hope all is well. Were there any discussions to have you part of the Sting retirement tour? Considering your past with him through the years, it would have made sense and nostalgic for many of us.
No. No, you don't want to include too many hangers on. That was about Sting and Sting only. You start adding a lot of layers to it and forcing people in. You kind of lose the fact that that was a night that you were honoring a guy for a career that he had that was, as arguably as good as anybody ever had, I would say, would you?
Oh, no doubt about it.
So, I mean, I was down on the floor, kind of tucked away. I wasn't on TV, didn't want to be on TV. Uh, but I was there honoring him along with the rest of us. And I'm glad he got to end his career the way he wanted. Very few of us do.
Yeah, it was a fun way to for him to be sent off for sure. Now his son, Arn, is training. Have you heard that? His son's
Yeah,
full scale training to be a wrestler.
I'm pretty sure if genetics or anything has anything to do with it, he's going to be just fine.
I agree. James Byers, by the way, happy belated birthday to you. He turned 43 on the 15th of September. He said, I've been a WCW Horseman fanatic since 8 years old in 1989. Man, I just hope you had a great birthday. Darren Staley said the only way I knew about the AWA and the other territories were from the wrestling magazines.
Sure.
And so depending on where you live, that makes total sense.
That's the only it's the only thing you had, period.
Yes. Yeah.
Those
Depending on what
magazines,
channels you got and had access to.
you didn't talk about other companies when you were on TV, on local TV. You wouldn't mention the other companies just like they didn't exist. You talked about your company. And so those, to get any cross reference or get anything, any knowledge of who's where. And I mean, how would you find out who's wrestling in Portland if you're wrestling in Puerto Rico? Those magazines were the only way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Baseball question for you from my buddy Ryan. And he says, Ryan Nodal, he says, a question for both of you. Thoughts on Otani being the first 50-50 player? It's incredible what he's done. Shohei Otani for the Dodgers, over 50 steals, over 50 home runs. He had a game last week, Arnie, was 6 for 6, 3 home runs out of that 6 for 6, 10 RBIs. I mean, it's incredible.
If you use that as a format and you think, okay, if he stays healthy, and let's just say he plays for another 6 years, what are those numbers going to be?
Oh, he's 5.
He has the opportunity to put everything out of reach for anybody to ever break it. He could set records that will never be broke.
My goodness. Let's continue on here. We'll do 2 more questions. I'm looking for a super chat to wrap us up. We're at about 58 minutes in. Ryan talks about Wahoo McDaniel. How good was he as a wrestler? We knew how talented of a linebacker he was in the NFL for the Jets. Wahoo, Arn.
Just get chopped one time from him, and it changed your mind about what you thought you were doing or what you signed up for. I mean, he would crack you, and depending on how bad his shoulder was, he would hit you anywhere from here to here, or let's say maybe even lower, maybe right above your belly button to the top of your head, just depending on how loose he could get his shoulder. But boy, he would light you up. Hands were big, thick hands. He was all man, buddy.
He was for sure. Wahoo McDaniel, by the way, coming soon, his merch to One True Sport. We're working with his wife to replicate some designs for Wahoo McDaniel. So we're so excited about that. Bruiser Brody already over there. Andrew Hermes, research guy for this show. Great point about Otani. He's a pitcher. He's taking the year off because he's recovering from Tommy John surgery. So he's DHing. But Otani also is a stud pitcher too. There's no talent like him doing things that, people last talked about with Babe Ruth. It's just incredible.
And can I tell you something? He's paid accordingly.
He will be, especially the back half of his career and endorsements. Oh, he's set for life. I want to shout out Marcus D'Angelo too. Marcus, I know you listen. You listen every single week to this show. And man, he does so many things to help us along with Andrew. to make this show go. And I don't know that Arn, you and I recognize these guys as much as we should. And so I want to give both those guys some serious shouts out for all their hard work on social media, for graphics, for research. And then Dom, with what he does on our YouTube channel, you talk about a three-headed monster when it comes to really helping out behind the scenes and making this thing go. We are so thankful for all the support and everything they do to help us here at the Arn Show.
It's as much your guys' show as it is ours. Just know that.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We truly appreciate all of you, from the information guy to Dom and Marcus. I usually call Marcus in the morning, go, hey, just occurred, we're a little slow here on this Comic-Con. Could you shoot me something up there right away?
Yeah, he's social media guru.
And man, 30 minutes later, it's there, which some people that were not aware, that we're in town, now they're aware and they got all day to come down.
Yeah. A great team, no doubt about it. Darren Staley, no problem. I guarantee you I will not ask that question. But I want to thank all of you so much for being here with us for Ask Arn, Darren, almost anything. We appreciate you, Dominic. And guys, it's been so much fun, guys and gals. Come back. We're going to be back again in 2 weeks at 6 o'clock. Let me look at my calendar. So we will be back on the 8th. It's Tuesday, the 8th. At 6 o'clock, Arn will take on the next month of your career. So it's going to be a great night, and we'll filter in questions from all of you. So come prepared, and we'll have a good time on the 8th. Then, for those that like to plan ahead, we're going to skip 2 weeks, Arn, if that's okay with you. I got some work travel and come back the last Tuesday of the month on the 29th for Ask Arn Almost Anything for October. So May 95, Andrew, he's my man right there in the chat. It's May 95. Arn, you beat up Randy Savage's dad in May of 95. That's what we're going to cover the next show on October 8th. And then we'll come around October the 29th, and we're going to do Ask Arn Almost Anything. How's that sound?
I beat up Randy's dad.
Yeah, that's what Andrew just said. You beat up Lanny and Randy's dad, Angelo Poffo.
Wow. I can't wait. I'll have to look at the footage on that.
Hey, James, we can't listen. We'll start at 6, but if you want to join at 6:05, that would be perfect. He's asking if we can start at 6:05 for old time's sake. I tell you what, you jump in right at 6:05. We will be here for you, James Byers. But great suggestion, CG, Arn, and Paul. Thank you so much for another great episode. I loved it as always. Hope you guys have a great couple of weeks. Darren, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thanks for tolerating me, Darren. We wouldn't have it any other way unless you were coming up with these just incredible questions. I don't know where you come up with them. I do from out of your ass, but they're entertaining, and we need that nice mix here on the show.
Guys, he can't help it. He's got to get one in there. I'm just glad it ain't me every time. So you guys go have to take a bullet too sometimes.
They love it. Listen, these guys are great. And I'm looking for memes. Send me our memes because I love it. Confirm or deny. It should be a new segment. Arn, confirm or deny, were you 8 years old when this picture was taken? Loved it. It was so much fun. And hey, thank all of you. Lots of guys coming in, loving the show, Arn. Real quick before we get out of here, one more shill. And that's for our friends over at Ultra Pro Wrestling from Hyper Focus Games. You can follow them at UPW Video Game and check out their Patreon, patreon.com/Ultra Pro Wrestling. Exclusive content, big names still coming out for downloadable characters. It's going to be a great video game that launches in 2025, and we're excited to be a part of it with many of our guys at One True Sport that are going to be a part of the downloadable roster, including Arn Anderson. And so we're just so excited for that. And Arn, thank you so much for doing this with me again this week, buddy.
Love you guys, all of you. Once again, this is a show that is no negatives. It's all positives, guys. If we're not having fun, we ain't doing this. So you guys are part of the show. We do it for you. It's your show. If you got any suggestions, ideas, things you want to see, things you want to hear, let us know. We aim to please.
James Redding says it's time to go walk my dog. Peace to everyone. If you have any questions or suggestions, send them to Andrew Hermes. Otherwise, thank you for all the love. On behalf of the founder of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson. This is Paul Bromwell. We'll see you right back here in 2 weeks on Arn.